Jack Harlow.
Yeah, you do hate Jack Harlow.
Wow. What do you hate about him?
Oh, nothing. This is like my thing. Actually, it's just,
Who do I hate?
but he hates me though.
Does he?
Oh, he 100% hates you. I know he does. I can't wait till we run into him so he can press you.
Oh wow! Imagine.
I'm like, it's a prank. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank. Look, the camera.
Do you have a personal issue with Jack Harlow? Is it?
No, I f with Jack. He's just always dissing him.
I think if you gave people like songs like like an album full of What's Poppins and First Classes and Loving on Me's, it would be like 300.
Are those rock records to you or pop records, Mitch?
Just Joshua. That type. I don't know, bro. I don't give. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say much because
We were actually friends. We were friends.
I wouldn't consider it dissing him. I just gave an opinion on his music.
I'm such a hater. I couldn't tell you my favorite verse, honestly, but like, I can tell you one I don't like. Hey, what's that Jack Harlow and Drake song?
Oof.
What's that called? I could tell you one of the worst verses I ever heard.
Churchill's Downs.
When it was time for the big stage, go to that. That was tripping.
It's definitely an opinion, but the way he would laugh and make it seem like
it's just okay.
it's a joke.
It's like I just be saying this stuff. I think
Yeah.
people will be thinking, but like Boat be thinking like, okay, he might hear something in his ass, but he can't say it because it's all political.
Jack Harlow said something in a song once about podcasters, which he was definitely talking about us.
Recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But that's what I'm like. I thought he was like a
Got some
like
fight
a
in
Drewski jokey. I'm like, this what I say matter. That's how I look at it. I'm not saying anything too crazy. It's just you know.
I just want to make sure Jack knows that I have all the love in the world for Jack. Always have since the beginning of time.
What? Pick a side, bro.
I liked
I'm not
him.
picking a side.
I liked him a lot when I met him.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
Nice guy. I'm not picking a side. You.
I like him though.
Who
I tell you that. I don't.
Well,
He. You get what I'm saying? He just. Like
I
me.
don't get what she's saying. And now I feel like James doesn't like, Jack doesn't like me because he didn't respond to my last text message.
You know, I think it's crazy you're talking about Jack liking you during this month. Like it matters.
Like you need his approval.
Like this
That's
month
fair.
don't matter.
That is fair. That's
Not
fair.
this one.
March, Jack.
Yeah.
I'll try again on our
I'll
friendship.
come to my March.
All right, well, welcome back to a safe place. We're still here and we still are not canceled. This is episode
This is amazing.
17. We are so close to 20, which is 1 year away from being an adult, which means you can always buy alcohol. All right. Today we have a very good friend of mine, a Caucasian man. First Caucasian man we've actually had,
Yeah.
unless you count V's. Are you black?
Yeah, my granddad and grandma is white.
I knew it!
Yeah, they actually like got blonde hair.
It's just like, I don't know if you really count V's as a Caucasian man, but
Yeah, pretty interesting month we choose to do this, but
yeah,
that's what makes
well,
this
again,
show this
depends
show.
when we drop it. We might actually legally have to drop it in March.
Right.
Just for like, so the NCAAP doesn't get on our ass.
That's fair.
James Blake, man, joining us from across the pond. How are you, bro?
I'm great.
Happy to have you here. I mean,
It's nice to be here. When I walked in, I thought this sort of looked like a different kind of shoot.
Mitch, yeah, well, hey, yeah, I guess it does give that vibe. Yeah. Mitch lets us, he actually let down his blacks only rule today for you specifically.
Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no. We here with it today. For sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of love for you.
If your music's good enough, bro, then like nothing else matters. Like
I truly believe that.
Yeah, if your
I
music's
mean, you
good
could
enough,
have one eye,
yeah.
be homosexual, and like,
Why would that be a bad thing?
Well, I'm just, no, I didn't say that. I'm just, I'm saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that can be the case. And like, if your music slaps.
Yeah, right, but the way you listed them, it sounded like.
Well, no, I was saying. No, I was just saying.
It sounded like they were
like
going to be.
these things are problems or something.
Detracting.
No, I wasn't saying they're
music.
bad things. I was just saying like you can be that, and it's still all good.
Yeah, we know that already because
What are
nothing
you?
wrong with it.
It is all good
That's
though.
what I'm trying to
No,
tell
of
you.
course it's all good. I thought you were saying like.
What you thought I was saying?
No, I thought you were saying
No,
like
no,
those kind
don't
of
point at
people.
me and don't point at James.
No,
And
no.
one eye as well.
Well,
Yeah, wait, what?
Well, all I was
Are
saying
you
is that
dissing
like
Fetty
you,
Wap, or you
I was
dissing
just saying
Slick
you
Rick?
can't. No, I was
Some of our
saying.
greats?
I was saying you can have that, and it's all good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just move on. James Blake, I think you were the first English white man to successfully cross over and work with rappers in today's time and hip hop producers
Are you sure
working
that's
with.
true?
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Who else is from Europe that was able to do it?
I don't know.
Well, he's not English, is he?
Yeah, he's not even English. You was racist on your own kind.
Oh wow. Put the camera
It's
on
because
that guy.
we have two completely different whites in here today.
Three.
He's like, yeah. I try not to count.
Oh, this one, yeah, she can rock out.
She's in the room today. She's black.
Yeah, okay.
She's definitely black today. All right, we got like he's like a mix between Backstreet Boys and
Yeah,
like
he got, like,
Insane
a whole-
Clown Posse white.
Yeah, he got a whole like.
And then James is like the Queen white, like
Yeah.
British, like royalty, silver tea sets,
Yeah, crumpets.
crumpets. You ever had a crumpet?
I used to eat them all the time.
What actually
What
is
is a crumpet?
What is a crumpet?
It's hard to say because it feels so much like an identity more than a
Mm.
piece of bread. Because you know all the holes in it is sort of like fermented, I think, a bit like sourdough. But yeah, it's just a little cake.
James,
Like a bread
every
cake.
answer you're gonna give me boring.
Huh?
That was such a boring response.
I just don't know what you want from me. You asked me what's a crumpet.
Literally, what is a crumpet? I don't know.
We really don't know.
Yeah, it's like a biscuit,
I
like
thought it
a.
was
No, it's like it's a fucking piece of bread.
Wait, let's look it up. Crumpets. Do you know what crumping is?
No.
We used to crump all the time. I tell you, and it is not this. Crumpets. I used to play trumpet in 8th grade in band. I was
He was in
terrible.
band?
He just
I wasn't
can't.
banned.
He can't stop rhyming.
No, yeah.
No,
I-
it's just like it just.
I mean, cause
it's just like
Yeah.
it just makes me
trumpet.
think
It's
of
like Eminem.
all these things. I literally did play trumpet. I tell you, your breathing has to be on point for trumpets, and it's
Yeah.
a certain way you gotta like do your
Were you
mouth.
good at playing the trumpet?
No, it's very hard, very hard.
Your voice sort of sounds a bit trumpety.
Really? Well, like I can play trumpet or just like notes?
Just the like tone of it.
I tried because
mid-range.
obviously Miles Davis. You know, my dad named me after Miles Davis, and Miles Davis obviously, was an amazing trumpet player. So I really wanted to follow that. Then I went to percussion, and then that's wrist work. That's even harder.
Yeah, I did percussion too.
Yeah, it's
That's
not, I mean,
so-
all amazing instruments. But if I had a choice, like if God said, I can give you one really
Well, let
good
me guess.
talent.
You gonna say a music instrument? Saxophone.
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah.
Man, a crumpet looks like a pancake.
Mm.
Wait, let me see.
It's like a thick. It's like
Bro,
a thick,
why is
small
that and
pancake.
tea like the craziest combo?
Wait,
feel like
it's
they
like the
don't do-
bottom of a pancake though, like with the holes in it. Like if you flip the pancake upside down. But I thought the thick pancakes, what's this shit in Japan and China? Those thick ass. It's not rubber, but they do wiggle. You ever seen that? Those pancakes in Japan are like this thick.
No,
They're always on my Instagram feed.
Have you ever ate beans for breakfast?
I have, yeah.
What?
Because they're baked beans. They're sort of like they're treated in a certain way that makes them not seem insane. Well, it's like you and
I've eaten beans for
having an
breakfast
orange
before.
in a salad, like
Really?
or having like savory and sweet at the same time for breakfast. It makes no sense. Like
Orange is zesty.
bacon with pancake, like
Bacon and pancakes is the one.
right.
Wait,
But this is what I'm saying. So you can see how we would look at that funny.
Pancakes and bacon, that's not like normal?
Not in England, no.
Really?
Well, not that I know of. I mean, it just doesn't. We don't. We either do sweet or we do savory. I mean, generally savory.
Savory is what, the bacon part?
Savory is not sweet. Yeah,
Have you ever had pork and beans?
I've never had pork. I mean, I'm vegetarian, so.
Uh,
But
I'm
Pork and beans is like hot
pescatarian.
dogs chopped up with beans.
Yeah, I've had that for breakfast before.
That was like a normal thing in my house.
Yeah,
Like very.
I get the whole beans thing.
I haven't had beans since maybe I was 2 or 3 years old. But my mom is not an advocate cook, and like one of the things she could do was chop up a hot dog and put it in beans. And that was like her specialty. That was like mom's, like, wazam. And that was like birthday, Christmas. That was like the special.
good associations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate beans. Suck. Oh, well, it's been so long that we almost forgot to let you know, James, that anything and everything that you say here in a safe place is confidential and will not ever be used against you.
Ever. And it probably won't even hit the internet or whatever. So you can talk about whatever you want to your ops.
Yeah, this.
Oh no,
this-
you don't. You haven't seen the effect of me coming on a podcast.
No, yeah, well, I mean, I think this episode.
I'm worried for you guys.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for like, because when it blows up,
Mm-hmm.
your lives might feel
Oh.
different. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
worried
all
about.
right.
Well, I mean, it's good for us, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We actually printed out a black card for you, and hopefully we will grant it to you depending on how you act this episode. You may or may not be granted 3 in-word passes. We don't know. We'll talk about it.
I don't.
3? Sheesh.
3? Is that too much?
I'm okay.
3 too much?
He said he's money.
No.
I'm
Well,
okay. I'm
well, it's
good.
printed out, so you can leave with it if you want or not. It's here. So, first topic of the day, England versus United States.
Why is that the first topic?
It's just what we. That's our
Okay,
first topic.
we're going there. We're going
So
there.
when did you move to United States?
I moved 9 years ago.
9 years ago, 2015.
That's not, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was a guess.
I mean, was it?
It was.
But 9 years is 2024, so it's not a guess though, is it? Because you just did the maths. That's like you just
Oh no, he's
subtracted
you might
9
have-
years.
yeah. His thing is like not.
Worst
Yeah,
people
he
with
doesn't
math.
fuck with math.
Math
He
may
really
be
did just
my
guess it. I know it's
strongest
yeah.
enemy. That was really a guess. So I was really lucky. So
I know it seems crazy, but seriously, bro.
yeah, it's insane. I don't even.
Well, I mean, fantastic guess.
Yeah. So, okay, 9 years ago, 2015, I was graduating high school, which means you spent most of your life in Europe.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right. And what was one of the most substantial things you recognized once swapping over to America from being in England?
I think people being a bit more maybe emotionally open. I think people. I mean, I went straight to LA, so obviously it's a pretty drastic difference. Like if you go to a restaurant in England and you expect the same kind of service you're going to get in LA, and then you're going to be sorely disappointed. I went over there and I just kind of, I felt good. I just felt better when I was there. And so, and every time I would get a flight over,
I don't know what to do with it.
no, it's cool. It's cool. That's so pop star.
This is America.
So yeah, just like, I'm done. I'm just going to chuck it on the floor and someone will clean that up later.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's talking, doesn't matter. So I just felt better every time I went there, and then I was on the plane one time, and I was like, why am I flying back to England where I don't feel that great, and that's where I live. I'm flying home to the place I don't feel as good. Why don't I just flip those round?
Yeah.
So it's kind of what I did.
What was it about England that you didn't fuck with? I guess.
It's not England itself. I think it was associations and where I came from. It's just like I wanted to just wipe the slate clean just for a minute. And now when I go back to England, I feel great. Like I don't have those same negative associations or whatever. And I just,
It's crazy. I never met someone from Europe that enjoys America more. People always are so high and mighty on Europe, and like they just stand behind it so much. You may be the first person I've met that actually is openly saying they feel better in America. Was it a weather thing?
Well, actually, I don't as much now. I'd say post-pandemic, I sort of not as much, but I also don't know because post-pandemic everywhere's a bit.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe I've been enjoying Europe recently. Actually, it's been nice.
And LA's pretty terrible now.
Now it's always been a terrible place.
No, not before COVID.
But what changed?
It's just
Quite a
super
lot.
dangerous and shit now.
It's always been dangerous.
But now it's like ridiculous stuff, bro. It's like crazy. You can't even walk down Melrose.
A lot of places closed down. A lot of like supply chain shit meant that like restaurants just a lot of your favorite restaurants just went down, and then like the food quality went down because they're trying to like cut costs. So it's like there's just a lot of things that were great and are now okay. These are heavy, these microphones.
Yeah, that's why I just sit
bit.
on my stomach because it is a lot. There's a lot. And you've been covering your face the entire time, so your view is just gonna be a big.
I mean, they'll all recognize me anyway. All your fans, won't they?
That's true. I mean, all right.
You really just went big. That's crazy.
I just love how like you haven't really explained who I am.
Yeah.
So
They're supposed to know
none of these
already.
people are gonna know what?
They're supposed to know already.
They won't.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Well, then let's go down. Let's go down the pipe.
sorry.
No.
I'm not trying to self-credit.
Matter of fact, let's see what Wikipedia has to say about James
Why did this random man move to
Blake.
LA?
Oh wow, you're not even the first James Blake that comes up. It's a tennis player.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well,
Very famous.
let's try this again. James Blake.
But
Okay.
I did get the James Blake
Musician.
Instagram handle. So
James Blake Litherland.
yeah.
Technically, you
Born
won.
in 88.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you dinosaur. Is an English musician, singer, songwriter, and record producer.
Mm-hmm.
He first received recognition for a series of 2010 EPs, including CMYK and Kleiberwerken.
Close.
And then he released his debut album in 2011. That was a good one.
Thanks.
So critically praised. His second album, Overgrown, was released in 2013, bringing him to international attention and later awarded the Mercury Prize. Damn. Was that good? I thought that was like the shit they give you when you like make things.
I never even heard of that shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
When you make things, what do you mean?
Like when you like invent something.
Oh, no, that's the Nobel.
Nobel Peace Prize. Close enough. He
there's
recorded
others.
his third
No.
album, The Color in Anything. That's actually the one that I was talking about is a banger. That's the green one, right? The cover's green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an animation.
Yeah, but it's like a green. It looks like a water pastel color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. That's a
Wait, can we clear what a Nobel Peace Prize is?
Nobel Peace Prize. That's like with like who's won that before? Like Martin Luther King and shit.
Yeah. Like,
Type shit. Type beat.
Putin.
Oh, Pulitzer.
No.
What are we talking about right now?
No. I have to say it in an American accent so you'd understand. I'm totally wrong.
Jimmy Carter.
But yeah,
Damn.
Obama definitely won it.
For what? What did Obama do?
he was very noble.
But you have to do something, right?
You gotta be noble.
Oh, it was just being the first black president, and it's fair enough.
Oh, no. Putin was nominated
Okay.
for the Peace Prize. He wasn't.
Putin was nominated for Nobel
Wait.
Peace Prize?
Oh, no, he's won it. No, he won a Nobel Prize.
Black.
I don't know.
Wow.
Mm.
That is the craziest fun fact ever.
All right, back to this. His fourth assumed form in 2019. We ran that one in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And his fifth, Friends That Break Your Heart in 21, and his sixth, Playing Robots into Heaven in 2023, which I'm sure none of you guys at home heard. Blake has collaborated with artists during his career such as Mount Kimby, Bon Iver, Metro Booming, and his contributed project. This is a lot. It's just
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I
a lot
never
of black
asked you
people though. I mean, man, he's worked with greats. Vince Staples, I love Vince Staples. Man, he is
Me
one
too.
of the realest people in the world. Frank Ocean literally is God himself. Travis Scott. He's won a Mercury Prize and 2 nominations, 2 Grammy Awards from 9 nominations, including a Best New Artist in 2014, a Latin Grammy Award. He has a Latin Grammy Award. I didn't even know that existed until I went to his house. It's like a different color than the actual Grammy. And he is not Latin, as we all can see. That is a flex. Do you know any Latin words? Could you even speak Spanish?
Queso. I mean, I totally wasn't expecting you to read out my whole Wikipedia. It was nice for you to, introduce me.
I learned
to
some
your
stuff, though. I
fans.
learned some stuff.
I have a note here that says give a mini intro because I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say something.
Yeah. Be like, we've been working, blah, 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 like something like that, but no.
Well, I just wanted to see what someone else said.
James
because
Blake Litherland
don't
went
fans
to
make
the
this?
Latimer School in
Or did you
Edmonton.
make
No.
this?
Fans
do
fans,
Or the label, maybe.
fans can contribute. Like, anyone can contribute.
But it's usually a fan who does this type of stuff, right?
I mean,
I would.
are you questioning the validity of it?
No, I'm...
It's all true.
No, I know it's legit. I know it's definitely legit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He worked on the Black Panther album.
Damn.
Oh, that was the Kendrick song with Future, right?
And another one as well. The one with Anderson .Paak.
You are just
Sorry.
got so much out of you.
Hey.
I mean, Black Panther. I mean, what else? Next, we're gonna see you was
All I took from it is
out in Africa, like with sticks and stone, like with signs, trying to like go against the government. Out there really protesting with the people of color. All right, let's move on. Drill music.
Drill music.
All right, drill music.
Yeah, go.
Where do you think it transpired?
Oh, what, like, is it like Chicago versus London, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't actually know. I don't know the full, the full genesis of it.
What have
to
you
be
heard?
honest.
Have you ever listened to Chief Keef?
Yeah. Love
What about
Chief Keef.
Skepta?
Love Skepta.
And
What about?
But Skepta's not drill.
no,
Well, I mean,
old
not,
drill, right?
not originally. I mean, Skepta was like one of the sort of founding fathers of grime, really,
Grime, that's
including like Wiley and Getz and Devilman and all these others.
See, it's so crazy because UK drill is so different than Chief Keef. Because obviously, everyone would attach Chief Keef to being the founding father of Chicago drill, even though he wasn't first. He popped it off. But that drill is so different than who's Europe drill. I mean, Europe drill would probably be like Central C, but that's new. Who's old Europe drill, would you say?
Well, drill's not massively old.
Right, but I mean,
so,
old enough. I mean, 2013 is Chief Keef, and it was in Europe before then.
But 2013, around 2013, you're dealing with more like kind of the later half of grime, I guess. Because early grime, I mean, I could be wrong here. I'm not a historian, but I'd say 2000 to 2008, like probably like main years, golden age
UK drill
of grime.
And
Grime is a very is it's not very different in the genesis of it, but it's a different sound.
Yeah,
Like drill.
What's Stormzy?
Kind of the later end of, I guess, came in at the later end of grime, and then like kind of just became huge over over the course of a few years, huh?
I feel like grime is probably not as.
I think a lot of people, especially over here, think just lump it all together.
I mean, I really think the person sort of nominated to explain this shouldn't be me, but I would, if I was going to give a rough explanation of the sound of it, I'd say the like cadence is quite different in the rapping, and also I'd say the beats just come from a different like discipline. Like grime kind of originated from some of the early beats in grime were made on like Music Maker 2000 on the PS2 or 1. So, like it was.
Wait, what? They was making beats on the PS1?
Some people were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then early Fruity Loops and early.
That's where it came from? Wow, that's
It was a thing though. I've seen that on TikTok. They had like apps, like shit, you can like make beats on. I've seen that done before.
But whereas drills come along when a lot of the software is much more sophisticated, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they had access to more stuff, more sounds, more packs, packs of samples and shit. So, and there's a lot more, I guess, samples involved. Like, sample drill became a thing, and
that's a very current thing. That's like a very
sample drill.
Sample drill is like a very that's Cash Cobain and all that world. That's like a really prominent thing.
But I mean, even the Central C songs you're talking.
Yeah, but Central C is with Cash Cobain.
But yeah, that's that. I mean, I'm not like an expert on drill, to be honest. So
fair enough. Being so involved in hip hop, right? How did this come about? Were you like a hip hop fan growing up, or did you just kind of? And so, with that being a thing, did it just kind of so happen easily for you to work with artists? Were artists like reaching out to you, or were you reaching out to certain artists? Like, how did this bridge form?
When I first started producing, I just realized how huge that backpack is. That is insane.
Yeah, it is, right?
That's amazing. When I first started producing, I was making my own kind of dance music type stuff, but I was also on the side, I was making these remixes of stuff. I was just it was like around the time during like the late 2000s where all these sample packs started floating around. So you'd hear like Timbaland like sample packs and there'd be like a cappella packs floating around. So we were all influenced by Timbaland around where all the stuff I was kind of interested in at the time. Timbaland was a big influence, and then there was also all the like dubstep stuff at the time. So it was kind of like an amalgamation of that. And then I started remixing all these acapellas because they were just there. They were free to use. I made like a remix of A Milli by Wayne. I did one of, I think I put Are You That Somebody, Aaliyah into a track called CMYK. So I was sampling like R&B vocals, hip hop vocals back then, because they were just great, well-recorded vocals that you could put in a track and just play it out at a club. Yeah. And it was an easy way of like, making your beat sound great, basically.
Right.
Because I didn't want to sample myself at the time. And so then, I started getting kind of known for that a little bit, and people over here, I think, heard some of it, but then they also heard my other shit, and then I started making like my own songs, vocal songs, and then so some people reached out about that, and then for about 5 years, no one even knew I produced.
Really?
I don't think most people knew that I produced all my own albums. So I'd play beats to people. I'd be in the studio with someone and they just want me to sing, and they didn't know I had music, and there were things I'd made that I wanted to like work on together. And I think it confused a lot of people. And also maybe the beats were shit. Who knows? I'd walk into a studio and somebody would be like, here's a track I'm working on. How can you make it feel fresher? So then I'd be like, take away the whole beat, take away everything apart from the vocal. And then I'd sit and I'd just play keyboards under it. And I got good at coming out with ideas quickly that felt good in the moment in front of a bunch of people, which was scary at first. Like I've first session with Travis and I'm just in there, like everyone's just, like who
Imagine the pressure.
Yeah, it's like, who the is this? And then I'm like, take all the music away.
Right.
And so there was kind of a version of cutting my teeth in that way. And then people just it kind of went from there. And, obviously I was just really lucky, basically. Like a lot of people I loved growing up also just happened to hear about me and want to work with me. And it was just great.
I know this, but I just want to kind of talk about the difference in between like a hip-hop session and a session with an alternative session is.
What do you mean?
Not just the difference in the session itself. The ambiance of the session is probably night and day, right?
What's an alternative session?
Like a
Bonnie Ver or something.
Yeah, like a session with Bonnie Vera, like a session with, I don't know, if you was going to go work with like Adele or something, I don't know, would be different. Or do you think when it's rap, like when the rapper's calendar has James Blake on it, are they like clearing out the studio?
No.
Are they like candles?
Well, actually, I think it depends. It just depends. Because I never want someone to work differently to how they like working. But at the same time, if I'm singing and I'm trying to write something, then I don't really want to do it in a different way to how I like working.
Right.
So it's like for example, our session have been easy because I don't have to do anything differently from the way I normally do it. Sometimes having more people around is fun. And then at other times it's distracting and it's kind of like you can't really channel. And music's kind of about channeling, especially if you're singing, coming up with lyrics, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not really concerned with like, I don't really rise to the vibe in the room. Whereas I feel like rappers, very often, the atmosphere in the room is like a massive part of what is inspiring in the moment to like write whatever it is you're going to write. So it depends on what kind of song it is.
Exactly.
So if the vibe is like, if it's up and it's that kind of like, if it's like hype, then I don't really often fit into that kind of situation as like a vocalist, as a writing singer. But I can go away and just like work on my verse at home or something sometimes.
Right.
But I like to help like produce it and be there for ideas and
I get
support. Alternative session, I don't know. It's like, I think everyone writes differently. So each, like there are some rappers who kind of work more like like what you would describe as alternative artists.
Yeah. What would you say the craziest session you've been in, if you can remember?
Probably Young Thug during COVID.
I was just about to say Young Thug was definitely for me the craziest session I've
I would say that's one of the craziest.
Why was that
just because it's 60 people in the room, the mic's in the room, he's recording in the room, no one stops talking. It's weed smoke, is nowhere to sit. The lights are low.
Oh, was your experience similar?
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that.
And then nothing stops. It's like it just carries on. He keeps recording. It doesn't matter that you're there. I mean, he was actually so sweet. Like I really enjoyed like working with him, and he was really supportive. And like he'd keep looking over and be like, checking I was good and like checking if I was enjoying the music and enjoying the song we were making and stuff. I remember we were working on something. Cuddy came in, and I never actually met Cuddy before, and he comes in and he brings in this song and he's like, I'd love to get you on it. And I think he's talking to Thug, but then he's sort of talking to me as well, and he's like so me and Thug both starting to write verses, and we're sitting there for like 2 hours or something, 2.5 hours. Sometimes it goes on a long time, and it's kind of a party anyway, so like it's not really a focused writing session. But anyway, so we're sitting there for ages, and then right as so then Doug starts recording his verse on this song, and I'm like waiting for him to record it. It's taking a while. You know, you got a line by line, and he's doing quite a long verse. So then I go to the bathroom, and bear in mind I've been sat there for almost 3 hours writing my verse, and I'm there literally. I'm like, I'm going to be as quick as possible because when I come back, I'm probably going to be recording mine. And I come back, and Doug's playing his album, and Cuddy's left.
Really?
Yeah, he just left. He's just like, he's got his verse.
Really?
That would have blew my mind.
So that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh yeah, like, because obviously like show excitement that the album's playing,
yeah,
like, but also being like, oh, just spent 3 hours writing that verse.
That's actually insane.
But that was during that session, and it was 2 days before, like, we didn't know when Doug was gonna actually show up. So we just sort of like, me and my friends were just like hanging out for like 2 days basically.
What do you mean don't show up?
Well, to the studio. We didn't know when he was going to show up to the studio. So but all my friends were like, we were making music together at the time. At my studio, we were making all this stuff. So we were just like carried on making shit while we waited for the call, because we knew the session was going to be on that day or whatever. But I think it got pushed into Cuddy's time with
frame.
him, maybe, or Cuddy was supposed to show up at that time, but we should have had like 2 days or a day. Honestly, yeah, like 30 or 40 people. No, like mid-COVID, like maximum. Do you remember when it was like max paranoid?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the most, you know, like shame, like public shaming about anyone who was going to a party.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got masks on. Like people are double masked.
I was wearing
in
a
their
mask
own
to sleep.
cars with no one around. Like
Yeah.
it was insane.
Yeah.
And it was 30 people, 40 people.
Did y'all record come out?
I've got it, and it's amazing. I'll
Yeah.
play it to you. It's great. I guess we haven't figured out where it's gonna go yet, but I know it's I do love it.
Sick. Let's talk quickly about the divide in your fan base. Or would you say it's a divide between your dance fans and your more classical jams? I won't call it classical jams because I believe dancing is where you truly originated, but I think to a not so deep fan think that classic jams is more you know,
Kind of sad slow songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Originally I think dance is your true origin.
That, and also like before dance, it's kind of all the things at once. But like I started playing piano when I was 6 years old, you know, and I was singing. Started singing when I was fucking 2 in the bath. Like,
Right.
just that was my genesis from all the music. Really came from learning songs. Like
Right.
first song I ever learned was Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And then when I was like 13 or 14, I was going out to clubs. So that's how I got into dance music. But yeah, so it's kind of there's always been a duality, and I don't really, to be honest, I try not to think about it too much because I know that there's going to be, you know, like I did a dance record, and it's obviously in America, it's harder to tour that record and make people aware of like what a lot of it's like European techno influence / you know, like more British styles. So it was a harder sell than say the last record, which was all singer-songwriter, you know, stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just you got to do what you want to do, and then people come around to it. I mean, you are an example of that.
Absolutely. So like you said, it was just basically something you wanted to move on.
Yeah.
And recently, you know, winning, you know, those Grammys with Killer Mike, which was is this your second? This is your third Grammy, technically,
Yeah.
from
Congrats,
winning
by the
with
way.
Kendrick,
Thank you.
and also winning with Rosalia. Do you care to talk about this Killer Mike, Mike Jones, Killer Mike record? Because this record was honestly, it was changed a bit, right? Was this
You'll
slightly
put me on the spot, I see.
just slightly? We don't have to go deep into it, but
It was originally an Andre 3000 track that I'd produced,
Mm-hmm.
and then he and Mike met up, I think, and then Mike asked for the song for his record, and Andre gave it to him.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean that is how it happened, and now we all have a Grammy. So
Let's move on to Our Baby.
yeah,
How long did it take us? Arguably.
not very long. I mean, in my world of how long I take on records,
Very short.
it was pretty short, and it like it happened remarkably quickly, but also the flurry of like how creative it was so quickly is kind of what was, because normally like I've heard someone go, oh yeah, I made an album in 2 weeks, and I'll be like, well yeah, that's
You could tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
How long did it take for y'all project?
I don't know.
there's a
But-
few months, a couple months.
But the only reason it even took that long is because I don't live in LA.
Yeah.
Had I lived in LA and it was every day, it would have been done in maybe 30 days.
How long did a song take? Like those type of songs. How long do those?
I mean, they
type
took
of songs
time
take?
because they're complex songs. You know,
Right.
he on his own worked on certain records for months.
Mhm.
You know, certain records he worked on for months. But the recording process of a lot of them it came to us fairly quickly. But all the back end mixing, definitely he sat with additional production for weeks to months. So it wasn't like, overnight records. But just sonically though, it sounds like it took us 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, it sonically sounds like something that we had been working on for years versus like
It's true.
something we made in maybe 6 months, you know, if that long. And the 6 months again is genuine just because I was away, from him for 6 months. You know, it was a lot of like, and I didn't do anything on my own, like so I didn't record anything here. We did everything in person, which is the only reason that it took the time that it took, because I just.
But also, I think if we'd been in one place for 30 days, I don't know if we'd have made those same songs. I think the fact that you had this time away, and then we had time to like generate some more instrumentals, some me and Dom Maker,
me working on other shit, you know? Where
Yeah.
I don't know if you were working on other shit in the process, but just us working on
Yeah.
shit that sounded nothing like what we were doing, and
Yeah.
then coming back and then like going into this, it was always completely fresh. Even from the
Felt-
mixes, even from the mixes that we had prior, it was so fresh,
Mhm.
you know? I don't want to get too deep into it, but just like concept, right? Not concept, but just the idea of us kind of putting this thing together is just so left. I actually want to, let me see if I want to go and pull up. I want to pull up the first thing I ever said to James. I DM'd James in January 27th, 2019. We'll put this on the screen. I said, bro, your album is 10 of 10. It's the best album I've heard since Blind by Frank Ocean. My favorite product right now from start to finish. He did not respond. So then I sent a heart on February 7th. He also did not respond.
I was taken at the time.
Yeah. So, and he didn't respond till June of last year.
But I wasn't on Instagram. When did you send that?
In January 27th, 2019. It was right when you dropped.
2019. I mean, I probably just started. I think I only started managing my own Instagram probably around 2020.
Right.
Which album is that? Is that
That's-
the one we was listening to all the time?
Yes.
Assume, wait,
I would have DM'd you too.
Yeah.
Which
Short
one?
form.
Assume form.
We
that
really,
one?
really, like I've downplayed how much we really with that album.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like
I appreciate
I
it.
literally know all of the lyrics of it, and it is.
That's so
Yeah, we
sweet.
appreciate that.
man,
That
it
got
is
us through some times.
Mm,
It was just
means
like
a lot, man.
Yeah, it's not many albums that start to finish are just amazing, and that one is just like, it's fantastic.
I really love that one. I'm very
Yeah,
proud of it.
it was special. I think our album also is.
I'm so excited about our record. And I'm
know,
so proud of
I
it.
am
It's-
too.
You brought something out in all of it that was so unusual for me, and like the songwriting is on such a high level.
Yeah, I
Um,
wonder how people will react.
I don't know
Not that it matters, but I am extremely curious.
I think they'll love
because-
it. I think
You
they'll
think
love
so?
it. It's so fresh, and I think you sound like your voice sounds so beautiful on it. Like you're singing, you sound different to anything else you've done.
Yeah,
I think because it happened so easily. I think it really shows. like when you hear it, you're like, it feels really natural. And also, like, I think it's genuinely boundary pushing.
Yeah, I 100% agree to that extent that it is. We definitely did something unusual, and I think we just challenged not only ourselves but just artists to collaborate with just outside the box collaborations, not the comfort zone collaborations. What would be the magnum opus of your career? You know, like, do you have an ultimate goal or some dream collab?
I'd say this podcast probably.
Fair enough.
If I had to guess, that's what I was gonna say too, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He really wants that black card.
This is the pinnacle.
You earning it right now.
Yeah,
You
you
might
are
get extra
definitely
extra.
earning
Just
black
sitting
card.
in this weird sort of this purple womb thing that I'm in. When people ask this question, my favorite answer is always the next thing, because generally that's how our minds work.
Yeah.
But I would also say that I'm someone who loves my biggest song. You know, there's a
Really?
lot of people who don't like their big songs.
I thought every artist almost hated their biggest song. You love your biggest song.
Retrograde, I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I love performing it. And I just, it was one of those ones where the feeling I had when I did it and how it felt like I'd really been myself and really done something like pure coincided with it also being my biggest song, which is really rare. And I felt really lucky for that, because there's a lot of people who won't even play their biggest song or won't even play the song your favorite song of theirs.
I want you to turn it off instantly.
Right, which is sometimes frustrating as a fan, but I understand. Like, but it's yeah. I mean, there's a compilation of like the biggest pop stars talking about how much they hate their biggest song.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's because they were kind of pressured into releasing it, or
and because it's just oversaturated with how big a song is. How many times you're going to hear it, how many times you're going to perform it.
What's your least favorite song that you...
Well, it's definitely One Night.
One Night's your least favorite?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm like, as far as like out of the bigger ones, yeah, I hate playing One Night. I mean, I have a lot more that I hate in them. That's just
Is it fun to play Poland?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the energy's high. I don't really have to say a word.
What about Spy?
I dislike our spot too.
I think Poland is like avant-garde, like genuinely avant-garde. Like when I heard it for the first time, I was like, what is this? Like,
I mean, but
it's
that's how a
so
lot
unusual.
of people felt on One Night. When I first came out in 2016, a lot of people were like, what the fuck is this guy?
But One Night, are you just tired of hearing it? Like, that's what it is? Because from a song perspective, that's not one of those songs where it's like...
I just think it's so kooky, you know? You know, and I'm after dealing with like this year of like people genuinely just disgusted with me. I mean, they always have been, but people hate me for some reason. I have my own opinion on my own music. Like, I guess I've started to like try and like accept my old work a little bit more. Maybe I have been a little harsh on myself on my previous career, which I never understood for the life of me why anyone else gave a fuck about how I felt about my own music. Like, it's my music, but I guess I've tried to accept it a little more, even though no one is going around listening to it. But for some reason, everyone is so upset that I feel like I don't like it, right?
But you don't think One Night was good for the time? No, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, for the time, but One Night is one song out of Summer Songs too, and like all these other projects, Teenage Emotions, like...
Yeah.
It's a bit like fun. I guess the like, it's always good to be honest, but I think it's a bit like when you find out that like the cast of Sex and the City all secretly hate each other. You know what I mean? It's like it's like when you find out that they all hate each other, and you're like, now when I watch it, it's not going to feel the same. But at the same time, I think music is like it maintains, and if you can get that out of your head, like music maintains the original vibration that it's forever. Like it's set in stone forever. You know, like that recording will last as long as you want to hear it. So
I agree, and I believe that any emotion or memory that was created with it sticks to the sonics.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
forever with that record. You know,
Damn, man, I can't even believe you hate One Night, dog. I don't agree with you on that.
I just don't like to perform it, and I never listened to it. You know, like but you gotta understand, bro. I made that song in 2015.
No, but I'm saying when it was going though. So I don't know. It's not like really one of them.
I just never been a big fan of it.
Oh, really?
Not really. You know, like I'm grateful for it, but I never really cared for it. I definitely think it's the best song I've created. You know, like it is what it is. I would never not play it. I would never not perform it. I perform it to the day I die.
What's your favorite song to perform?
We Saw the Sun off of the last project. You know, but I'm super
excited. Y'all on that one,
huh?
We need to put like a little clip up there.
No, bro. It's so crazy. People always
like
compares that song to Tame Impala, and it sounds nothing like Tame Impala. To be honest, nothing on Let's Start Here sounds like a Tame Impala record. I think people just, their brains couldn't compare psychedelic rock to anything but Tame Impala. You know? But that album does not sound anything like, none of the drums sound like Kevin Parker, none of the guitar riffs sound like Kevin Parker. Nothing.
He's got a very, very specific style.
So specific. You know it, and nothing sounds like it. Pink Floyd, yes, and that was purposely me showing my gratitude to the Dark Side of the Moon. But Tame Impala, not at any, you know? Like, I respect Kevin, and I think he's dope, but I wasn't trying to bite Kevin at all. You know,
I think the opening to that record is, your record,
Yeah.
is so exciting. Like, when I heard it for the first time, I was like, what is even happening? Like, it's like not like, you know, the energy of it. It's like, I think something that I got over when I was growing up, or like something I really cared about growing up was everything sounding like completely new with no obvious references. But as I got older, I sort of started to feel like the energy of a song was more important than, you know, whether something sounds like it's identifiably like influenced by something else, which that sound definitely does. Like you say, it's like it's a homage to Dark Side of the Moon. It's an homage to psychedelic rock that you love. But the energy of it is different from any of those other things because it's you. And I think that's where it's like, it's such an up feeling, that album. And it's a mood album. It's a proper mood album.
Absolutely.
Which is I think really important.
Do you ever like get like kind of overwhelmed with like, you know, making the beat, mixing, writing a song, and, you know, like just doing that constantly? Do you ever get like stumped a little, or like?
I do sometimes, and actually I think, you know what, ADHD doesn't make it any easier. And I think for many years, like, I just had sort of untreated ADHD that just like meant that I had thousands of tracks just sat on a hard drive that still haven't come out. You know, a lot of which are the same quality of the stuff as the stuff I released. I just didn't ever put them out, and now they don't feel like the right time. You know, figuring the ADHD thing out has helped, and now I sort of feel much more focused. But I'd say yes, it can feel that way, especially if my heart is not fully in it. Like with our record, there was not a single moment where I was like, oh, this is like homework. Yeah. It never felt like that. It was like from the start to finish, it was just like, oh, this is
when
exciting.
It feels like homework, man, it's so hard to cross the finish line.
Yeah.
Man, it is such a drag. Would you say that more than most artists, would you say you get the feeling of it feeling like homework more or less with like certain artists?
I've stopped collaborating now.
Yeah.
To the same extent. I'd say like I gave so much of myself to other people, and I didn't really put a lot into my own career. I didn't really put a lot into my own music. I mean, I put an album out, but I wouldn't really promote it. So like a lot of the albums I've dropped, I've just sort of gone, there you go, I've done some interviews and then I've just moved on.
Yeah.
Which is like not how other artists promote their albums. The reason like you see other artists like so visible all the time is because they're always uploading TikToks. They're always like in the zeitgeist, and they're always like pushing their music. And I just didn't really do that.
Right.
Instead, I was in the studio contributing to other people's projects. Right. And it's like, I think I did a number of years of that where it was like really productive and really great for me, especially. Well, for the whole exchange, it was great.
Right.
But now, I sort of feel like I've almost overdone it in a bit for my own energy. Like I've sort of given away a lot of that sort of creative thing. And what was again great about our project is that it's for both of us. So it felt like, oh, we are both like contributing to this thing. We know what it is, or it's started to come into focus, and we're just both like pouring all this energy into it, and we're both gonna, you know, like see the result, if you see what I'm saying. As I got older, I realized like if they're not making me laugh, like I don't really want to be in the studio.
That's facts.
Right.
It's torture, like being with someone who's like
non-funny session,
self-serious,
So serious.
self-serious.
And there are a lot of
music.
artists like that, especially rappers.
Because music's not, it's great. But one thing I sort of overcame was this idea that like the music, so, you know, there are some artists who like the music seemed worth it in order to, and you'd accept this like subpar personal experience because you just wanted to like make the music and like the music's paramount. I just don't really feel like that anymore. Like I can make good music myself with really great people around me without, you know, having that feeling at the end of a session where you're drained and you don't want to like, you know that feeling when you feel super tired and then someone leaves and you're just like, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the feeling I'm trying to avoid.
Or a woman.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Well,
Y'all gonna do some videos?
huh?
Y'all gonna do some videos for this album?
No, we should. We should at least do one video. Something really interesting and weird.
We'll do some video content.
Yeah.
But no one
Definitely
really,
some video content.
I mean, not no one, but videos are quite a commitment these days, aren't they? In terms of
Yeah.
like what you're getting for your money and what you're getting for the artistic output.
Facts.
Not that I have done many of them for myself anyway.
That's
But,
true.
hey.
Are you a camera shy person?
Not camera shy when I know the camera's there. Like as in it's the agreement that the camera's
Right.
there and then I'm going to, you know, be myself.
Mm.
Sudden cameras I hate.
Like paparazzi.
Yeah, like TMZ, like there was a TMZ reporter. I was just like parked around the back of Prada because I had to do a fitting. And they came up to me and they just had the camera already there. And they were like, what do you think of it? And I was just like, are you talking to me? You must not realize you're not going to get any clicks.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what are you aiming at here? Like it just, but it was actually the sudden. I suddenly felt really subconscious. Like I was like pulling at my clothes and like I didn't feel like comfortable anymore. I just felt like, you know. And then there are some people who just the camera comes on them and they're just like they light up. Like they just activate. It's like they're boring otherwise.
I could do that. Well, I'm not boring otherwise, but I
Not
definitely
you.
know how to jump into character.
Yeah. But there are people who I literally like they got no personality and then suddenly the camera's on them and they're just like the most entertaining people on the internet.
Yeah.
Not naming any names, but that is a phenomenon for sure. You've probably met them.
Yeah, 100%. So, you actually have a brown skin girlfriend.
I do.
Everyone in the room, let's applaud him on that.
Get that man his pass, man. Get that man
is-
his pass.
I'm telling you, you are 2 steps away, brother. With that, how has that been?
How's that been? It's been amazing. I not in the nature of her being brown or the nature. That has been educational.
Yeah. Oh, educational, guys. Clap it up for that. Learning about the brown
Learning
community.
stuff.
All right. How do your parents feel about that?
Yeah, they love her.
Let's clap it up, man. Non-racist parents. All right. Do you think
You're one more correct answer away from that golden ticket.
You are almost there, brother. Do you think? I guess my perception of an older English parent would be definitely like to hate black people. So, and I'm guessing that's not the case. Do you think your parents understand? Like
I'll clarify that is not the case.
right, not the case.
Thanks,
Do
man.
they understand?
Because I was nodding, but it's a podcast, so I'm
Right.
realizing that there's some people who'll not see the
Right.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough. Okay. Do they ever understand when you work with like a? Wait, do they even care? Like, does this does this life matter to them?
Well, my dad's a musician.
Okay.
Who toured America when he was younger, and so being, you know, he's like lived his own sort of different version of this, and I think he just, you know, he doesn't try and live through me or vicariously. You know, he just has his own thing.
Right.
My mum too, not in music, but she's a graphic designer. So yeah, they're very supportive, but they're not sort of, yeah, they're just supportive,
Right.
which is great. And my dad is the reason I got into music. And,
Right.
You know, played me my first influences, and he was an influence.
What do you play?
Guitar.
Sick. Can you play guitar?
And sings. I can play a bit, but he basically gave me the choice of piano and guitar when I was a kid, and was just like, which one do you want to learn? I'll buy you lessons. So I was lucky. I, you know, started pretty young.
Surprised that your father played guitar and you chose opposite.
I think we always, like, when he tried to teach me the guitar, we always sort of argued. So I was just like, I don't want to. I'm just going to choose something else.
You had no choice but to be father. His mom's a graphic designer and dad's a musician.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily true, but I mean, the stakes were high.
Well, I was I was a curious 2-year-old. That's not. I was.
Wait, time out.
He said that. He
If
fixed.
you was a curious 2-year-old, bro.
Yeah.
That would have been wild.
I started singing. I remember I have a recording of me singing on the Dock of the Bay, but obviously, like, I'm 2, so I'm not really singing it like.
And I was clearly in black
Very well.
and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the recording is not in video.
Right,
It's
exactly.
it's
It's
a
on film.
audio recording. Yeah.
Yeah, put it on that circle thing and then
Yeah.
broadcast it to a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Silent film.
pre-color.
No audio.
So how old do you think I am?
I don't know. I think all old people are old. Anyone over 30 to me, I just treat like a segregation type person. Like you marched with.
He is.
You didn't march
He's
with
actually genuinely ageist.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
ages.
Like genuinely ageist.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Ages. Yeah. Old people. I just.
What does he do when he turns 30 though?
What when he does? He immediately dies.
Oh, yeah, that's when it ends, right?
He's
It's
good.
like a beeper, like a timer or something. That shit gonna
Yeah.
start beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
Like, all
As
right.
you see, I've been trying to live it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live it up. 30 comes. I'm just.
Put
so
me in that
over.
wheel.
I literally might turn
He'll
into
just
a
be
vegetable.
Yachty.
Yeah. I might turn into a vegetable.
Yeah, but I'm in the bath and I'm trying to sing this song,
Uh-huh.
and I keep, like, in the recording you can hear me just like trying to get it right, like not quite getting it right, and then trying to get it right, and then by the end of the recording I've sort of got it right, and that's definitely weird for a 2-year-old to do that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, there were conditions obviously that made it kind of like more obvious that I would become a musician, but I seem to just, like, from pretty much day dot be interested in, like, perfecting music for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow.
That too is crazy, bro. I was still like, you know, spitting on myself and shit.
I mean, shit, you're doing it now at like 28.
When did that
so.
stop?
Like I just said, you're still doing it now. So at the end of every show, we have fans and supporters who send in these questions, and they basically just want us to kind of have them out. All right. So we're gonna read them.
Like an agony aunt. So, have you never heard that phrase?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Dear Bo and Mitch, so I'm in a tricky situation. I've been dating a girl who's loved my life for 3 years and a half now. We live in Europe. And I want to be a scholar in political science. I've been accepted to a top PhD program at an Ivy in the U.S., and I really want to go, but my GF doesn't want to live in the U.S. I will go to a program in Europe. They're shit, and U.S. programs are way better and give you better job opportunities to become a professor later on. What should I do?
How old is he?
Doesn't say, but he just got accepted into a PhD program, so he's done college.
So he's 25, 30?
Had to be between 26 to 28.
He's probably like our age.
Yeah. Well, he's basically saying that he's been accepted to a PhD program in America, but his girlfriend doesn't want to go. He would stay in Europe, but those programs suck. What should he do? My advice would be that you have to go for your future. You know, like if she loves you like you think, then she'll either A, figure it out with you, or be there when you get back. But I think you can't compromise your future for someone who just doesn't care about yours. Because if she cared about yours, she'd make that. Because all it is making, compromising. You know, she should compromise for you, especially if she ain't doing shit and you taking care of all the bills. I don't know what her life is like, but
I mean, a PhD is not making any money anytime soon, is it?
no, I don't
So I don't
think
know
so,
what-
right? You mean you'd have to go to school?
Did he say what he does?
political science is what he wants to be a scholar in.
Definitely not the highest paid job.
Right.
I mean, can be quite well paid, I guess, but not like immediately.
Not a little Yachty.
Yeah.
No. Just saying. Definitely not my gigs.
Professors that like with a PhD at like an Ivy League or just like a big deal.
Man, that should take a gazillion years though.
Yeah.
That should take a
I mean,
gazillion.
So they can do well.
Amazing.
They can do great.
I think like half? More? Less?
I think it depends like your accolades because there's professors at schools that like have done insane things and made like insane academic journals and like cured cancer and shit, and they're getting paid stupid bread.
What have you
So
done?
it really just depends what you accomplish before you come. Professor.
What have I
So what
done?
have you done? No.
Nigga, I populated the wobble effect.
True.
That's what I did.
The T-Pain of your generation.
Yeah, he didn't wobble though. So
True.
tell
They
T-
hadn't found that vibrato button yet
Nope.
in the 90s or
No. So that's what I did.
early 2000s.
Yeah, I haven't been at the wobble. Hey, look, this is like, I advise you, man, is go with your heart. If you want to go to school in America, do that. You know?
I agree.
Yeah. If she loves you, she'll either work it out or come with you.
No, I say he listened to his girl. I say he
Well, she
listened
didn't say not to do it. She just said she doesn't want to live there.
Well, you live to be a contrarian, don't you? That's
Well, it's not even that. It's
that's
just,
that's
It's literally his thing. Doing the complete opposite.
what possible explanation?
well, I was just gonna say, you know, if he listens to her and stays there, and then everything goes wrong, he could just blame everything on her. And then now you gotta support us.
Nice.
Since you just had all the answers, now you support us. We're stuck over here.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
Mm.
I'm
a
Joe
baby
ass.
like Pet Cemetery or some shit now because I listen to you. Now what we gonna do? You take care of me now.
Oh,
Yeah.
the long game.
Yeah, the long game. We doing it anyway. We gonna PhD.
You are literally insane.
I know a couple of people who've done PhDs, and they didn't seem like they spent a lot of time in the actual university. Like it seemed like there was a few lectures, but then it seemed like a lot of it they were just on their own. So it's possible that he could do something online, stay with her,
Right.
not rock the boat.
Right.
No
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yeah.
But to say, like, save the relationship, plus
It's like you get your PhD, you pick what you want to do your dissertation in, like spend all your like dedicate your life to like researching that.
Hey, if you get a PhD, like say if I get a PhD right now, I can just go be like a doctor somewhere.
you would be a doctor.
Yeah, you'd
What
be
I'm
a
saying, I can
doctor.
just walk in a hospital and be like, yo, I got my.
No, you'd be a doctor of whatever it is you study.
Yeah, okay, a doctor, whatever you are. So like psychology or whatever.
I mean, you have a higher chance, yes.
Yeah, but
And
I'm
you'd-
saying like, oh, you'd have a.
You'd
You
meet
can't,
the
I don't think you
requirement.
can just walk in.
But you wouldn't automatically get it.
I know not automatically, but like,
You'd meet the
Security
do
requirement.
they
might stop you at
do
the
they
gate.
help a ton, or is it like?
I
Just
mean,
a-
it's a certain requirement for certain positions. You have to have it. It's not like it's like you kidding. Like I'm sure a lot of psychology positions you have to have a PhD in psychology.
Are there hella niggas in the world PhDs with no jobs? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, 100%.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I
I would hate to go
yeah.
to school for.
I don't know if it's more or
For that
less,
shit.
but there's definitely there's
Do you
definitely
think there are
in
more
this
or
economy.
less
What? No,
people that
no,
went to college
no. That's what
for
you have to say a number, Mitch.
PhD?
You
He's
have
really
to
trying
have
to
a
make
Do you
this
number.
think there are 100 people that went to college for
100?
More.
Jesus
100
Christ.
more? Fuck.
All right, second question.
Are there
He
more?
is like,
Or okay.
what? Maybe if he spent any time off camera trying to get it together, it
I
would be
did.
better.
This time I really did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
No, I didn't.
All right.
Fuck.
All right, number question 2. Hey, this happened a while ago, but it still bothers me. So, I have a GF who I was with for multiple years on end, partially by choice, partially because she was batshit, threatening suicide and shit. During a lot of arguments, her mom would try and console me, and it led to something else, some neck
Ooh.
and some money. Wow, this went on for the rest of our relationship. Some neck and some money.
Oh.
He got top from his girl's mom, and she gave him money. That went on for the rest of our relationship, 1 or 2 years, and just recently ending. I didn't care what to do. I feel like I should tell my ex, but this is some detrimental family ruining shit. Let me know what y'all would do.
Don't you touch that goddamn dial. You better not tell her, bro.
Yeah, there's no way I would tell.
If there's anything, get back with her, bro. You're living a dream. If the mom holding it down, you get to hit the mom. You get to go back, get the daughter. You go back.
And the mom's
Yeah.
gonna
Is
be
this
money.
real life?
That would be insane.
Bro,
It's no
we
way I
pray for
wouldn't
times
be
like
able
that.
to tell someone.
What do you say?
Everyone who knows me would know I do this. It's no way I would tell. Everyone would know except that girl.
Yeah.
If I was hitting my girl's
That
mom,
shit, I'm talking about that shit. Like,
and she kept gassing my tank in the car.
they would find out with you because you would eventually rap about it. There's no way you can.
No, eventually, I immediately will rap about it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Do not, especially if it's over. Don't care. It's done.
You should start looking into content, bro. That's content right there. That's like Me, Mommy, and a Gangster 3.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's a porno.
That's classic. Damn near the same plot. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn near the same plot.
All right. Third, I need help. I got 2 potential girlfriends. One is an attorney and one is a flight attendant. The attorney lives in Detroit, 30 minutes away from me, and the other lives in my city. I still live at the crib, by the way. The girl is in my city, has her own appointment, and showing more interest in me. But I've been talking to the attorney for 3 months, going on multiple dates. I hit both, and I would say sex is tied. What y'all think?
Wow.
Well, you get no flight benefits from the flight attendant unless y'all are married, or she puts you on her flight benefits, which I'm pretty sure she's not gonna do, unless she really loves you.
Both very busy as well. Both like not.
The flight attendant's never home.
Very available. Yeah.
The attorney is.
Which is what you want.
Oh, the attorney is home sometimes.
Well, I mean, if you're an attorney, you practice locally.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she's not.
But I mean, but they're very.
In jail.
They're like that's a high hours.
She like Fonnie
That's
Willis.
True. Long hours as an attorney, and then flight attendants are always gone. But at least the attorney comes home.
I would say the attorney, not least because if you get into any trouble, then she can sort you out.
That's true.
Damn.
For free.
Whereas, what can the flight attendant do? Just like give you, help you escape.
Yeah.
If she decides to put you under her benefits,
Right.
because y'all aren't married.
But if you were dating someone, you needed to get out of the country, and they were a flight attendant, and they couldn't get you a free ticket out of somewhere, then you'd be pretty pissed, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jen. I'm taking a lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
taking a lawyer too.
Free all my niggas.
True.
That is absolutely
That's
true.
very
Unless
true.
she's an attorney for like what's the people get free lawyers called?
Pro bono.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you can say shit like, my wife's an attorney. I would never. Shit like that.
I also just love that.
Okay, I guess.
There's one perk of being married to an attorney. You can say that.
Yeah, I guess.
She's also just probably really smart.
Yeah, that's true. And which you
Which
couldn't
may be a bad thing in the end.
Which means all your antics you wouldn't work because you couldn't outsmart her.
Suck, bro.
Yeah, none of your antics would work. Well, I think that has it for another episode of A Safe Place. Don't you forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow. All things to keep us on the air. Shout out to our sponsors every time. The Happiest Dad, me and James. Joint album very soon.
On the way.
On the way. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks for having me.